Hey everybody, this is Mrs. Dinkelman, and these are the notes for lesson 3.6, which is about inverse trig functions and differentiating or taking the derivative of inverse trig functions. A lot of this is review, and I'm not saying that we don't need review, but just for the sake of making the notes a little bit shorter, I'm going to be skipping to the part where we're finding the derivatives because that's really the new part. If you need some review on the rest of it, there is definitely some review in the assignment, and you can definitely ask questions as we're going along in the assignment if you're having any of those. Okay, so I want you to, in your notes, go ahead and turn to page 96, just at the end there where the derivatives of the inverse trig functions are. If it will let me do that as well. Okay. So they have a table there, and again, I know yours and mine is split up a little bit differently. And so what I really need you to do is just make sure that you have memorized those three on the left-hand side. Remember, Gary likes to also give us this U stuff. That way we remember that we still have to think about chain rule, and that's kind of his reminder. But the three in that first column are the ones that I really want you to commit to memory. There are more. So there is arc cotangent, just by the way, and that would just be the negative version of arctangent. And then there's arc secant and arc cosecant. And those just don't end up on the AP exam as often, even though I guess technically they could, but if we can memorize these three, we're going to be good to go. Also remember that we use that word arc, but also we can call it cos inverse, like cosine to the -1 or sine to the -1. Just that notation is sometimes difficult because we think it means 1 over sine, and it does not. It really means the inverse of sine, or the thing that undoes sine, or geometrically we could think about what the graphs look like. Okay, so knowing that and knowing that we have to do chain rule, let's just do these three examples and then I'll have you get to the assignment. So for tangent, the derivative is 1 over 1 plus, and I just say the stuff squared, so it's really an x squared, but really we have something more complicated than that. And then the derivative of inside of the parentheses is a 2. Okay, so clearly we could kind of simplify that just a little bit. For sine inverse or arc sine, it's 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. Well, this isn't just an x, so we're going to square that, which just turns into an x, by the way, and then we have to multiply by the derivative of that square root. So again, some simplifying we can do there. For cosine inverse, again, this is also arc cosine. It's just the negative version of sine, so -1 over the square root of 1 minus the stuff squared. And then the derivative of natural log of t is 1 over t, so I would just kind of bring that t down there to the denominator. Okay, so it's just a matter of trying to commit those to memory and then remembering to do chain rule as we find the derivatives of all of those.